Friday night, time for crafts and pure delight. Paper, scissors, let's get started. With vintage tape, we'll be wholehearted. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. Glue sticks ready, let's make a plan. Planners in the office, supplies in hand. Honey half-season, whimsy arrows, crafting magic like true heroes. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. Doodads and gumballs, let's create a scene. Join the club where we live our dreams. So grab your scissors and come along. Together we'll craft and sing our song. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. It's all for you. Slip into jammies, grab something to sip. Stickers and golden scissors, let's take a crafty trip. The playbook's open with listers got a list. In this crafty paradise, our dreams coexist. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. It's all for you. Cards and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the Late Night Crafty Show? Cards and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scratch your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the Late Night Crafty Show? It's all for you. It's all for you.
Hello, hello. Okay. Apparently the only camera that wants to see anything is my desktop. But welcome, oh welcome nonetheless to the Late Night Crafty Club, where we start off every show with tech issues. Of course we do. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the back of my RV. I swear that you're in it.
I check things right before we go live, and there's only so much I can do.
I swear you're in the back of my RV. But anywho, you are frozen in time, as I am. You're actually looking at, I think you're looking at a scene from last episode. But you can hear me, right? Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? It's actually kind of funny because this is what I have. I actually have the same thing that's sitting on my desktop. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Okay. I just need to know if you can hear me. Apparently you can't see me. Just let me know when you can see me. That would be awesome. So happy Friday. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone can hear me. That's good to know. I'm so conditioned to look at my computer monitor to be able to see that I'm on the screen, to know that I'm live. It's very different. Anyway, I'm so happy to see all my friends here. It feels like so long since I've been here. I say that every single time, but it's always true. Oh, look. Look, at least I'm live now. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's just say hello to all of our friends. Let's just do that. Okay. Maybe by the time I do that, something will have changed. So, hi, Miss Annie. Happy Friday to you. Hello, Miss Bethany. Hi, Robin. Hi, Jamie Rose. I'm happy that you're able to join us. Hello, Miss Creative Christian. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Miss Sharon. Hi, Sherry. Hello, Miss Terry. Hello, Marie Louise. Hello, Victoria across the pond. And hi, Heidi. So Heidi says it's her first live this year. So I'm so happy that you have joined us. Hello, Miss Linda down there in San Diego. Let's see. Hello, Miss Carmen. Good to see you. You're coming in from Ohio. Hello, Miss Ellen. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Denise. Hello, Jitter's aunt. Hello and welcome. It's been a while since I've seen your little face in my chat room. I'm happy to see you back. Hello, Miss Deborah. But I'm glad to hear that you've not been missing the Late Night Crafty Club, that you were here. Hello, there I am. That you've been here earlier this month. So, yay. Hi, Deborah. Hello, Miss Art Mingle. That sounds familiar too. This is another name from the past. That does sound familiar. Art Mingle. Yes, that does sound familiar. Hi, Miss Kathy Dotson. Kathy in Santa Ana. Kathy, stay tuned. I don't know if you have lived your whole life in Santa Ana, but I have a yearbook from Santa Ana. So anyway, I'm going to show that later because I think I'm going to snip it. To use in my little project. So we shall see. Hello, Miss Laura. Hello, Miss Deb Gilgore. Hello. Let's see. Hello, Miss Janice. Hi, Janice. Hi, Lucy. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it to the right Friday. I saw your little message in the clubhouse about seeing us next Friday, and I was like, it's this Friday. It's tonight. Hi, Pearl Ann. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Edie. Hi, Roxanne. Yay! Roxanne's here for her second live, everybody. You're a regular now, Roxanne. It's good to see you. So, hello, Miss Shawn. Good to see you. Hello, Miss Mary. Hello. Let's see. Going down the list. Hello, Katya. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Jennifer. Hi. Hi, Shelly. I'm hoping I'm picking out names that Hi, Miss Jennifer. There's Miss Kelly Anderson. She's watching while she's shopping, doing the grocery shopping. And Phone Junkie, also in Minnesota. Are you guys grocery shopping? Is it grocery shopping in Minnesota tonight? Hello, Debbie Farnham. Hello, Lauren Lepore. Lauren, it's been a while since I've seen your face, is it not? I'm happy to see you. Yeah, it feels like it's been a little while, but I could be wrong. Hi, Heather. Hello, my cousin. Hello, my cousin Carrie. And then hi, Carrie. Another Carrie, spelled differently. 2 Carries in a row. Hello, Miss Claire. Across the pond. Let's see. And hi, Christy. And hi. Okay, good to see you. Good to see you. Yay. Okay, yay. Everybody's there. And thank you. Hi, Annabelle. Another San Diegan. Hello, Miss Leah. Hi, Sue McDonald. Okay. Oh, that's right. Jitter's aunt said, this reminds me of Romper Room. It does. It reminds me of Romper Room. I see Sharon and I see Lucy and I see Carrie. That was the best. I really liked that little segment when I was a kid. How did you feel about it? Were you always hoping she'd say your name? I forget her name. Miss something. And she, I don't know. I'm assuming the names of the kids came in because like what they wrote in or something, just so they could have their name on TV. I'm not sure how that worked, but I always wanted to hear my name. That was never going to happen. Not when you had my name. But now my name is way more common. But when I was a little kid in the early 70s, I didn't know anybody with my name. But now it's all over the place. Not spelled like my name, though. My mom decided she wanted to be different, which is fine. I like being different. Okay, yes. Oh, Lauren says she always accidentally misses the lives. Me too, Lauren. I miss a lot of lives in my life, too. Hi, Betty Jo. Good to see you. Oh, Jitter's aunt said she said my sister's name once. Oh, cool. Shelly says, me too. She never called my name. Bethany says her husband was on Romper Room. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, Miss Sally, Miss Nancy called you out. That was her name. Edie says she never called my name. Aw. Do you guys remember The Office when Michael was bragging about how he'd been on that show? It was supposed to be a kid show, probably similar to Romper Room. And they got a copy of the tape and everybody in the office was watching it and it was really cringy and horrible. Yeah, that would probably happen to me. That would have been me. Okay. Deb says I was a kid in the 1960s and it was Miss Nancy at that time. I wonder, I blank on that, but she had the nicest little sing-song voice. She was so nice. Just like the perfect person to be talking to that age group. Just like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers and his lovely voice and he would just talk to you. I should really adopt that. I should really adopt talking that way. So, the elephant in the room. I got my hair did. I did. So, thank you, Annie. So, thank you all very much for all the sweet little comments. But yes, I did it. I did it. I couldn't take it anymore, girls. I did. It was a good 5-year run of being silver. And I couldn't take it. So we did something auspicious. I don't even know what that word means, but it's the word that came out of my mouth. It's not the same thing as audacious. I don't think it is. I think it probably is the opposite. Somebody look up auspicious. I probably use that word wildly incorrect. It is audacious. I did something quite audacious. I just decided I could not take it another moment. It didn't feel like me. So I dropped out of the Silver Vixen group. I tore up my membership card. Well, I don't think it works like that, but I would say more so I kind of slinked out of it. I kind of slid out, got one foot in the door. Okay, I have one foot in the door. I'm not completely out because let's face it, it's still there. In fact, it's still here. It looks blonde, but it's not really blonde. It's not. Your eyes are deceiving you. Although on YouTube with your high definition TVs that some of you are watching, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you guys are going to see. So I'm not sure. So anyway, let's see. To success, favorable. Sounds like a Chinese fortune cookie. Auspicious. I love it. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to start trying to use that word more. I'm going to pepper that in my... I've been loving the word audacious lately. Auspicious. So I'm going to throw auspicious in there. Doesn't that sound great? Much like suspicious. And audacious. These are just like some of the words that just keep popping out of my mouth. We can't really control the words that pop out of our mouth, can we? Can we? So, my sweet, sweet friends. Okay, so I have a couple things to talk to you about before I get crafting. You are more than welcome to start crafting because this is the Late Night Crafty Club, and I do want you to get going with your self-care. If you like want to start, slap a mask on, soak your little toesies. If you want to give yourself a little mani-pedi, that kind of thing, certainly feel free to do that. I do not want to hold you back. And I just realized, Miss Benita, hello. Is that a zebra Sarasa clip pen you are holding? It is not. It is I think I would call it a dupe. I do have that pen type, but these are dupes. These are the Arteza. They look like that. Focus. That camera does not want to focus. Arteza. I have to cover my face. That's rude. How dare you? Okay, so Arteza. That is what they are. Personally, I like the originals. I do. And the collection that these are in, that I bought the Sarasa ones from, they're in a vintage colorway, is what the pack was called, vintage. And then these guys duped them. And I honestly do not remember buying these. I'm not quite sure how I came to have them, but they seem to just be here at my desk. And every time I grab one, it's that brand instead of my beloved Sarasa. So I don't really actually know where the OGs are. I should probably hunt them down at some point. Okay, so we got Katya is going to go take care of parenting. Miss Amy, hello. I'm so glad that you're here. Settle in. Hi, Miss Mary. Let me see if I missed anybody else, catching any last minute joiners. And Miss Emily White going on her creative journey. I love it. All right, Emily, welcome. Everybody have a seat. Everybody sit down. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys the Cozy Craftivity Journal for June and the activities pages, because these are aesthetically, these are the most beautiful pages I have yet to do. Just saying, just not trying to toot my own horn, toot toot, but just saying, they just turned out really lovely. Hi, Melanie, and hi, Margaret. Can we do a little? Let's do a little top down. So the color palette is just yum, just so yum. I love when I use like pink and coral and mustard, that color family. I just love contrasting it with the baby blues, the mint, the teals, the pale teal. Like that just to me is like the most beautiful balance. So yeah, it just so yummy. And she was the perfect honey because she's got the little teal hat. So creative courage is our theme for June. And in the clubhouse is where we're kind of rolling that out and talking about that. Both of our challenges in the clubhouse are centered around this idea. And what does that really mean in application? So this is actually very interesting how this kind of theme developed, and I really love it. But basically, I wanted to focus on how it's about saying yes to you and a little bit no to everything else. That's audacious. Putting yourself first. The nerve. How sassy can you be? Putting yourself first. That takes courage to do. That is just one facet of how we can look at this theme. So I really thought it was fun. So it's not just being creatively, courageous in terms of like trying new things, doing new things, but it's also those little times that we're brave enough to say yes to things that feel like, a lot of women get these little feelings of guilt when they do stuff for themselves, especially when they're like moms, but we gotta get over that. We got to get over that stuff. I still drag mom guilt around with me, and my child is 34 years old, and I still drag that sack of mom guilt. I drag it into every year with me. I just need to leave that behind. My gosh, if I can only imagine how many pounds it weighs. I should have way nicer muscle tone for all that dragging I've done. Okay, so let me just take you on a quick little tour, because I do love doing that when I launch these, because I do put a lot of effort into them, and especially in the color palette and the design and all that. And I did switch up some things like the fonts and stuff, which is always fun to do, but creative courage. And I just thought this was so fun, as like kind of showing that. Now, it would have made more sense if there was no steps there and you were actually about to do a little deep dive, but then I don't know that that would have read very well. You would understand you were looking at a pool. So I don't know. To me, it felt like you were brave enough to dive in. Pretend that's really cold pool. So your creative courage roadmap. So these are like, okay, I forget that it kind of goes this way and it goes up and then it goes down and it goes up. So I make a really simple little way, a little step by step. If you are really short on time during the month, because that's just how your month is going, this is just your really fast little creative roadmap to like have some kind of experience during your month. This is like a one-stop shop sheet kind of thing. It just helps you navigate your journal, but gives you an overview of things. And then your monthly essentials. So here were some like really quick ideas in the create category. Make a permission slip for yourself. In the build habits category, tiny yeses tracker. Say tiny yeses to yourself. Nurture yourself. The cozy bravery ritual. Doesn't that sound delicious? So here we have our June, our little journal overview. Here is our gentle goals dashboard, our June habit tracking, where we can like make a list of how many times we said yes to ourselves and some of the little things that we want to do, putting ourselves first. Self-care bingo. And this has a points system. So this is a little different than a traditional bingo, but I gave you, if you attended the Late Night Crafty Club or even the Replay Club, give yourself 8 points. Yay. And then at the end of the month, you total up your score and see how you did. So there is a point system for this. And then, so you see how well you are treating yourself and putting yourself first. So here is your self-care journal. Here is the Creative Courage journaling corner. These are specifically designed, these prompts are designed to get you thinking about how are you putting yourself first? What small things have I said to yes this week? What's something I'm afraid to try creatively and why? What does a creatively brave day look like? You know? 30 days of brave little yeses. I just think that's so adorable. So you would record one little thing that you did that was like a brave little yes. Sometimes it's like pushing yourself out of your little comfort zone, like leave the house. I put my shoes on. And then I love this. This is my word for the year. So here's the goals in these 4 areas of your life. And then this is how did you do? Because I think a lot of people pick a word for the year and then over time it kind of gets lost in life. And so every month I make sure that these are still here, present. You're still thinking about your word and how it's developing. And then here we go. Here's our mood board for creative courage. Isn't that delicious? And then here are the June idea bank. Here's like the fun little extra activities to do, like materials that you could explore in your collection. Here's a cozy courage checklist. Here's seasonal activities it would be fun to do. Here is your challenge for the month. Here's a goal for each week, and then a little journaling spot. And then here's the photo challenge. Here is your memory keeper for the month of like what you did, and then you can print pictures, treat this like a little scrapbooking pocket page place. And then that is, I combined the pages. So that is the Craftivity Journal that our explorers get included in their membership, but you can purchase this in the shop. And then the activity pages is extra big this time. Is he awesome or what? This is actually a picture of one of my pocket pages that I did, and he's modeling his little he's from a sewing pattern, so I guess he's modeling the boxers or the tank top. I do not remember, but anyway, I just thought it was like color wise, it was a really great picture. So we have our inspiration boards with the prompts right here. And then we have art journaling pages with the little prompts mixed in. Then you have your word search, your word scramble, another word scramble, small space crafting to do little tiny works of art, our first honey, our second honey, another honey, and little capybara. I love him so much. I've been sharing these little playlists, a lo-fi channel that features a capybara, and I love it so much. So when I found him, I was like, yes. This is one of the designs that our illustrator did. I am obsessed with these little display, like, what are they called? They're like there's a category of photography that this is called, and I just can't think of what it is. But I have like a whole Pinterest board of all of these collections people have put together that are so cute. These are actually like little toys, like really small ones, little vintage toys. And so I gave him a few of them that I really liked, and he illustrated them for me so I could have my own little coloring pages. Here's like one of those little cute cozy corner cafes. So I added those in this time. And here's like a flower and a birdie. And then some really cute little girls ready for vacay. And a little mermaid. So I like the bold and easy style. So I like to throw a couple in there that are just like really easy to, color. And then, don't want to show you the answers. Those are the answer keys. And then I also like, ones that have more detail, like these kinds. So I like both. Coloring is such a relaxing activity, and that's why I like to include lots of different types of coloring in these pages. It's also why printing on 32-pound paper is a good idea, because then it gives you that nice, the nice paper that kind of like soaks up your color and makes it nice and vivid. So activity pages, your craftivity journal, together, besties. All right, so these are both available in the store, trg.cafe, or theresetgirl.com. That is it. That is it for that. That brought to you by theresetgirl.com. That was our sponsor. That was it. I just have to please the sponsors. Yum, yum, yum. Benita says that points remind me too much of Weight Watchers. All these women are scarred from the point system. Okay. So let me see here. Where are we at? Okay. Sorry, I need to come back to my list. Okay, so just a reminder, in June, I have 2 Late Night Crafty Clubs, and they're going to be on the 13th and the 27th. So you want to mark your calendars. I'm going to update the public Google Calendar I use for the Late Night Crafty Club. And then Mark usually sets up the YouTube channel. He was really good about it in May. So like all 3 Late Night Crafty Clubs were all set up so you could see them, and they just sort of float around. And if you are subscribed to my channel, you'll see them in your feed. They'll be floating around in there. But that's when they'll be, the 13th and the 27th. And then if you're in the clubhouse, tomorrow, Miss Michelle is going to be doing Around the Table with Michelle at 12 noon. We had to push back her meeting, so she's doing it the very last day, and she normally does it on Sunday, so this is kind of unusual, so I just wanted to make sure that people were aware, so I put up reminders in the clubhouse as well. So that is it. All right. That was the housekeeping for the business. And yes, Jitters Aunt, that is in fact a Disney lunchbox in the back there, right over my shoulder. I have a cute little story about that little lunchbox. Let's see. Okay. So I do want to show you a few things that I have gotten since we've last met. A few little goodies I got for Camp Reset coming up. I also wanted to talk to you guys about Camp Reset coming up. A few things to be aware of. Things have changed. New plans, new things I have had to tweak because of life. But everybody get your little supplies out, whatever it is you're working on. Please feel free to craft. Please feel free to do what you have been doing. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me make sure I'm just looking through here really fast. Just looking through here. Okay. So hi, Justine. Good to see you. So, and hi, Victoria. Good to see you. Hi, Shelly K. All right. That is it. That's all I see. Okay. So I have a shoebox, and the kind that's like hinged. And I thought, oh, this would make such a cute little, like a camp chest, you know, or like a little camp, you know, like when they would, back in the old days, they would have like a little chest that would sit at the foot of your little bunk. So this is going to be my little camp cubby. Because it has the kind that's like hinged. I bought some Dr. Scholl's, these really cute tennis shoes. They're super comfy. And I was about to toss the box, and I was like, oh, this would be so cute. So that is what I'm going to do with this really fun little box. So if you got any cardboard boxes or shoe boxes, it could be fun to put your little supplies, your little self-care supplies, making yourself a little self-care kit. That's always been something that I've encouraged for Camp Reset, is that you have things that are like separated from the rest of your goodies, and you kind of keep them handy and easy to get to, easy to grab. They're not, you know, going to camp is about packing your stuff and kind of curating it, gathering it, and then kind of having it so that you have it handy. You can see it so that you'll use it. So I just did it today. So I have just temporarily tossed a few things in here that I thought were really cute. I got these notebook sets. They are so cute. They've got these little vintage prints on them. These are like these adorable little mid-century milk cartons. And then this yummy oranges, although there's pink ones. So there's like, they look like little oranges. So it's like a little, they're A5 sized. So I have these little notebooks that I wanted to, they're not necessarily for camp, but I definitely could use them for camp. But I saw them and fell in love. So I have been tucking in all the little special supplies that I have been gathering, including any little kits. I feel like I talked about kits, and I showed you some things on the last Late Night Crafty Club. Am I hallucinating that? I know I did in the tea party. I grabbed a few things from Studio Calico, which I had not shopped there in 5+ years. So I took a little peek at what they had. I used to be a subscriber to their little kit, and they still had them. So I grabbed a few that I thought were really cute, just to have some new things, because I haven't bought anything in so long. So I just grabbed some things. So I have a few kits that I bought to use in my junk journal, which I kind of think I've made a decision about that. I'm kind of leaning towards using an album this time. I don't think I've ever done that. I think everything I've done has always been loose, like the loose rings. So what I could do, which is really lovely that, you know, everybody could do this, is you can start out in an album, like a 6x8 album. You could start there, and then you can move into rings if you bust out of the album, which is fairly easy to do. Albums don't tend to be very generous with their size. So I got one of Allie Edwards' albums. This is one of her 6x8 ones. I just fell in love with that cover, and I have made some embellishments to go on the covers for junk journals that people make, so that there's a name for the junk journal that we're going to make. And so I made a little title, little embellishment. So whatever cover you make, you can put the title on it that I've created. I think there's 2 options in the little set of printables that I have. So you can use whatever you love for your cover, but then you can add that little title, so it will be an official Scrapbook Scout junk journal. And that's so cute. So anyway, that's what I was contemplating using, is this. And I kind of use this as my muse to make one of the little embellishments. So there's two different styles. So that might be something that might appeal to some people, is starting out an album with rings, because it can be very stable. Junk journals with just the rings, which I love personally, but they can be very loose, and it takes a little bit to build up, you know, the content in them. If you're new to junk journals, that might feel it might feel a little too loose for you. That might feel a little too unstructured, and you might want to feel more secure in an album where everything is kind of literally enclosed with covers. So there's that. And then you could also go the route where discs to bind things. I think binding is usually the most, it's usually, in my opinion, it's usually the most the biggest hurdle mentally, I think, that most people struggle with is like, how do I want to use this thing, and how do I want to bind it? You know, how is it best going to work? Because I think that's really, once you kind of set out on a path, sometimes you're sort of limited by what your choice is. So I think that there's a lot of thought that goes into when you make a junk journal or some kind of memory keeping book. I think that there's a lot of those choices do come into play, and I very much overthink all of those things, especially when I'm the one creating creating the things that might go into like something that people buy. And so I think I overthink those things. So anyway, hi, Miss Ray. Ray says, I knew that was the one you got. I have the same one and it reminded me of your stuff. Yeah, the colors are just delicious. And I really like, it kind of reminds me of Studio Calico years ago, had this really cool paper that was very similar to it. And it came from a collection called On the Pier, I think, or maybe the paper was called that. And the collection was called Boardwalk. It's weird how some things stick in your head for no reason at all. I wish we could just kind of clean out stuff that didn't matter and held on to the stuff that does. So hi, Miss Kelly. She says, a crafty footlocker. I love it. I know exactly where I have one. Yes. So a little cubby box, a craft chest, a crafty footlocker. If you have a little, a little shoebox or some kind of like really simple little box, that might be a fun little project you could start now to just kind of like gather up your little things. It makes it just feel a little more special, instead of just sitting at your desk and just, reaching for your same old supplies, is that you've taken the time to curate your little kit, or you've curated your little, spa supplies or whatever you want to do for your, your spa day. Because there's a badge for that. Just saying, if you like badges, I've challenged you. So, hi, Justine. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. It has been a long time since I've seen your little face. I'm happy to see you. Okay, so anyway, I just, I've been gathering little bits and pieces and kind of throwing them in, started throwing them in here. I have them in a bag. I just kind of went around gathering up some stuff from some of the brands I like. I grabbed some things from Citrus Twist Kits, Studio Calico, Allie Edwards, including some new pocket pages, like little sleeves. I really, really, really love doing a junk journal that has pockets in it, the pocket pages. I'm so enamored with pocket pages. So I did grab some. She had some formats that I was not familiar with. I hadn't seen anybody else. And so did Citrus Twist Kits. They had pocket pages that I had not seen before either. And I love when people come up with new formats. So I'm always looking to add like other options to my pocket pages, especially those 6x8 formats, like the small album formats. So that's what I'm thinking, is I'm going to probably lean more into doing something that's more pocket pagey, or at least gives the look of pocket pages, and I think it would be more fun to try it in a structured album, which I've never done before. So that's what I think I'm doing, subject to change, because I'm not one to like, apparently not one to abide by these rings. They are on the small side. For some reason, they fill up fast. And I had to use washi rings at one time. So this is, right, Annie? She says, where's Chris tonight? I agree. Where is Chris? The honorary dude of the chat room. He's not here. Let's see. Amy says, it's all about the badges. It is. And Shelly says, I just found my old badge scarf from my Girl Scout days. Don't even know what all the badges are for. Oh my goodness. That's so awesome. Well, Justine, I certainly hope that you are going, I hope that you will join us for camp. Roxanne says, when I look at that Allie Edwards binder, I think of the days when I had my Holly Hoppy bedspread and would decorate my book covers and listen to my Donnie and Marie albums. Oh, yes. I think we were just talking, were we not just talking about the Donnie and Marie's and was that the last show or the one before? Can't remember. Cannot remember when all of these... I'm so nostalgic. I love talking about all that stuff. I love your shoebox idea, but I have a junk journal basket that is full of yummy stuff to use. I love looking in there and seeing all the things. I'm so ready to start camp. Me too. So I have stuff, but I have stuff like, so just to be clear, I wanted to buy special stuff for camp. You know what I mean? I don't make a lot. I only make stuff usually like this, of this magnitude. I only make it at camp. So like for instance, when I didn't have camp last year, I didn't make a junk journal. But every single year that I've had a camp, I've made one, except for, I'm sorry, I should take that back. I didn't make one, the first one, because we didn't, the first camp was not really built for that. It was not it didn't have a project like that in it. So I think ever since WannaCraft is when I got pocket fever in WannaCraft. And from that point forward, I was all about it, because that was not something I ever did. I didn't craft like that. So it sucked me in. So yeah, I have been buying these things for my little junk journal. And then, of course, I won't use it all. So then it spills into my ordinary supplies. So that's what it is. These are special camp goodies. These have been quarantined for camp. Okay. So, oh, thank you, Justine. Thank you. And hi, Nancy. Good to see you. Janice gave us an update. Chris is at a baseball game. I guess he's allowed to leave us one time, huh? Yes, Amy, that's true. The first camp was very centered on just like in general being like healthy, moving, sips and snacks. And that is what this camp does have, those components too. But ever since WannaCraft, I think I've gotten a bit more craftier in camp, which I need to say, I have to say this. Okay, so before I get crafting, I have a couple notes. So I do need to say some things about camp. So here's what I wanted to mention, because there's been some things have changed since we talked. Although I do think I mentioned this part to you. So since there's, I don't know, the last month or so, I think it's become more clear to me, because I am doing the bulk of everything and have to navigate so many new platforms and technology I'm not used to. I think it's become clear to me that I have to start saying no. Start saying no to all my grand plans and kind of scale back on what my original ideas were and be a little bit more realistic in order to get things launched on time. So I think also, I'm also keeping in mind that what tends to happen is people are, very busy, very, very busy. And sometimes what I do is I overpack things and I overdo things and make them very big, audacious, if you will. And I'm thinking what might feel very light and easy and feel more fun is having a more simpler camp experience that is cozy and simple and is much easier to not only launch, but navigate for you as a camper. So all that being said, I also have my husband, Mark, who is accepted a new job. He is going to be starting a job and he will be gone all day, every day, possibly 6 days a week. So he will be coming home probably pretty late at night and later in the evening. So I'm not used to that. You know, for 10 years, we've been working side by side. So I won't have all his tech help either. So that kind of just makes, I've had to pivot recently in all of my plans and figuring out how am I going to launch camp, because I have to get rid of that and this and that and this. So I had very grand plans. I have been talking about camp for several months because that's what I decided to do. And so I just wanted to say that I have to adjust it so it is sustainable for me, because I will be doing about everything for the first time. And so, and my sweet friend Kelly Anderson is going to be doing the pre-recorded videos where I need them. And so that's going to be very, very helpful. So thank you very much, Kelly. But it's still going to be fabulous. But I do realize what I think I need to do is let go of like what my idea of camp is and like in the past, and trying to make them be, you know, so like keep them up to this standard that I've always had. I need to let each camp be its own little camp. So each camp is just going to be what it is. Each summer, it will look the way it looks, because each summer we may be at this camp or that camp or this one. So that way I cannot get pigeonholed into a brand that it always has to be. And that's not your fault. Nobody has put that on me to do. This is all me. I did this. Okay. You're just all sweet and wonderful. And honestly, I haven't seen anybody tell me like anything other than whatever you do, we'll love. That's literally all anyone ever tells me. Whatever you do, we'll love. Whatever it is, we'll love it. I do it to myself. I do it. I'm the culprit. It's me. Lock me up. It's me with Mr. Green in the kitchen with the knife. So that's what it is. So I have to be honest with you. I have to like dial it all down. Not that it's not fun and fabulous. Don't get me wrong. But I may not be able to put it on the platform that I wanted to. It might have to go directly to Mighty Networks. It just might roll out. It might look different than what I envisioned. Because I'm like Bugs Bunny over here. Bugs Bunny first base, Bugs Bunny second base, Bugs Bunny third base. So yeah. But we shall camp. We shall camp. Even if, as God is my witness, we shall camp, ladies. It is happening. I don't care if we're all sitting out in the field with scissors and we're passing around a single thermos. We shall wash our chonies in the river and hang them up on a little single clothesline. We'll eat granola bars, but we shall craft and we shall camp. Okay? It's happening one way or another. There you go. Right, Justine? I cannot be anything but authentic. I'm just being transparent. It's rough over here. I beat myself up every day. I'm surprised I don't have 2 black eyes. So it's because I love your faces so much. It's because I love this community so much. And camp has been my heart. It has been something I've just loved so much. And I just want it to be awesome each time. And I'm just going to have to let each camp just be what it is. Maybe sometimes I'm going to have to accept that some people are going to be like, oh, that camp wasn't as great as this camp, you know? I don't know. I can't actually hear you. I mean, you can say that and I can't hear you. I don't know. I envision this. I know that, some of you are a lot like me. Think things like that. So anyway, that's what's going on. camp is going to be, it possibly look a little different than what I thought. So I'm just going to be really grateful that I get it up, that it looks awesome, awesomely live. I mean, I have a lot of stuff built, so it looks, I can see how it looks. So it's getting there. Okay. It's getting there. And it just comes down to like making final decisions on things. But just know, like, Kelly is uber talented, my little crafty queen, way craftier than me. So like having her is awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna wing it. So anywho, there you go. And see, look, Roxanne's like, this will be my first camp. Should I be nervous? Not at all. It's super fun. Camp's fun. And it's simple. That's the whole point. This is a little getaway for you. I'm trying to build an imaginary camp that you can go to in your imagination. So I'm trying to set the stage for you to imagine yourself at camp every day and trying to beguile you to come to your camp every day through your laptop or your device. And we do fun lives, which is going to be really fun in our, the lodge. And so that way that you're spending time on a live stream and we're crafting, not chatting like I am right now, but crafting. And I shall show you my magical junk journal techniques. I shall dazzle you. Well, that's right. And there's goodies. Thank you, Angela, for reminding me. Goodies. There we go. So it's just fun. It's fun to just remember your 12-year-old self, and you're just marching into our imaginary camp, and you're just to be silly and funny. And we have totally had fun. Have we not? I think that, was it our first camp? I want to say yes. I've had to film live streams at so many different locations. It's so funny. And the first time we did the spa mask challenge, you know which one I'm talking about if you attended. I believe it was the very first camp reset. And I put this crazy mask on that was supposed to look like an adorable little otter, and it did not. It made me look insane, and I could not stop laughing at how crazy I looked. And the harder I tried to stop, the more I laughed. And I think the joke was that we needed to have that event sponsored by Depends. The official sponsor of middle-aged women's events everywhere. Everywhere. Yes, it was fun. Okay. There is Benita. Okay, my sweet, sweet friends. I think that's really all I wanted to tell you. I just wanted to say, come to my camp. Well, I don't know what it's going to be like yet, but it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, my sweet friends, let's do this. There you go. See, Victoria, thank you. She says, I remember that mask. I love that camp. I remember that mask. In fact, I took a picture of that mask and put it in my junk journal memory scrapbook thing. And the following year when I did it again, I kept the package from the spa care mask and spa beauty mask. I don't even know how to say that anymore. What am I saying wrong? Spa mask, beauty mask. I can't think of the right way to say it. Anyway, so yeah, it's an important, fun part of self-care. I think a mask is just everything. Okay, so we are probably like an hour in. Yep, we're an hour in, and I'm just starting to craft. But I had things to say. We're talking, we're chatting, and now I'm getting to work. I'm getting to work. There, Justine says, oh my gosh, yes, that was the funniest thing ever. It was. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard. I can't think of a time I've ever laughed that hard publicly and like not been able to control myself how hard I was laughing, because every time I looked at myself, it was just bananas. You got to have a thick skin, man. And I don't have one, but because you guys are so sweet to me, you guys have lulled me into how sweet you all are to me. So now I think I can just do all these silly things in front of you and you'll still be like, here. There's no amount of embarrassment. Here's some really cute little cards that I got from one of the kits. And I just wanted to pull this out because I wanted to show you a few things about this type of format. Because I honestly, I think this is so neat, this type of idea. There's all kinds of, this is a ledger. There's no, I don't think there's a brand or anything that was visible. Is there? Let me see. It's a mead. This is super old. I got this on eBay. So there was quite a few. It's 100 debit credit balance forms. I pulled some of them out because they were way too many. And there's all different types on eBay. I saw somebody who was using the album, and that's what caught my eye. Because I wanted to look it up. So I didn't even know what they were using. I just saw that this album was available. So I started trying to figure out, well, what is that album on eBay? Because that's how I think. And then it had the little index pages. It was just so cute. So that's how I got here. This is what I made last Late Night Crafty Club. It was just a cute little collage. It's all about colors with me. And so then now I was testing out my pocket pages, these little 4x4s, and the two holes here, they fit they fit these two rings. All I have to do is add these two rings, and this would totally be a little, you know what I'm trying to say. It would be a little flippy thing in there. The other cool thing is they do make, I bought them from, okay, hang on one second. I'm going to see if I can pull out my Mary Poppins bag. I bought them from Citrus Twist Kits. I bought these. I don't think you have to have these, okay? I was curious about them, and these actually fit in a particular type of album, but okay, I'm not going to use those. I'm just going to show you. So let's say you wanted to attach a card of any kind, and like actually making it like something that's like ephemera actually makes it cooler. So you could paste, like pretend you cut this in half so like it's not that wide. Paste it to this, punch the holes where they belong here, and then you could attach that. This is obviously not wide enough, so that's probably not a good example. All right, moving on. Let me see here. I'm trying to find something. This is actually not a good example either, because this actually works. You can actually punch this card, just directly punch it and put it in here. So a 4x6. I'm talking about this one though. This one right here, you could put washi over this and repunch it so that there is 4 holes going across. But you can use a piece of ephemera that you just attach to something and let that ephemera be the hinge that you punch. This is just a bad example because it's not big enough to go across all of them. You could move it down here so it's just on 3 of them if you want to. So that is possible, although I don't know how that would work. I tend to like want to test all of that out before I start punching and ruining. If this was special, I wouldn't just punch it I would use a tester and to see like, how would this work if this was just partially on the rings? You know what I mean? Like you'd want to test all that out. But this actually seems like it would work because it's notched right here. It's notched right here and it's notched here. So even if it couldn't be on all 4 and it was just on the 3rd one, see how that notch still like fits into this ring kind of fits into where that little notch is. So that might be fine if it was just on 3 of these. So anyway, it's just an example. There's all kinds of of books and albums out there that have really funky bindings, because obviously it was made for something completely different. So here's another example where you have 5 hole punches. If you wanted to make, use this as your cool junk journal for camp, and then, alter the cover, you would just be hand punching your pages and your pocket pages. So, which is totally fine. You can do that. And the best way to adjust for it, in my opinion, is to cover this strip with washi and then punch it the way it needs to be punched. That way it also makes it more colorful. It's more fun looking. So, I really like that. So that would be an example. But there's all kinds of, books and not books, office type binders and supplies out there that have rings in them. And if you wanted to adapt them, that's one way that you could do that and still get away with using them. So I noticed that anything that this is really narrow and kind of unusual how narrow it is, but it's not doable. You could still do something with it. And I noticed even if you had like pretend this was like a long 4x6 pocket, there's ways of taking the, I didn't save one up here. You could even trim the pocket. You could turn the pocket and trim off the edge and build a new one. So there's different ways of designing this. You could glue something down directly on the page like this. Like that looks really fun. I love the color on here. Or you could punch it and just treat it like it's a little page. So there's some fun things you could do with your little journal cards. And the fact that this is all, ledger paper is fabulous, but you can also add other paper. Another thing I had in my stash was this little simple sewing book. It came with that big the binder I just showed you. They included it. So little Sharon Neff. I wonder if she learned to sew. So this is a little kids sewing book, which is so adorable. But there's some pages in here. The artwork is really cute. But there was a few pages in here where it was just text, which is fabulous for, I just saw, am I hallucinating? I thought I saw a bird. That's so cute. So like this page right here. So this page is perfection. It is wide enough, like it even meets the standard of like being wide enough as the other pages. And I could cut that strip off and punch it. And now I could like just directly like just design right over it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm saying yes. I'm being brave. I'm being courageous, tearing apart a book and doing it. So when you work with real ephemera, you have to be very brave because, I want it to have a good life. I want it to have a fun life. So that means I have to be brave enough to like cut into it, even though I might mess it up. Let me see here. I just need to find a hole punch. I have these new fun punches. Aren't these cute? So here is what I typically do when I have to make my own punches is I'll just grab a page like this. Oops. Okay, let's see. I've not used this punch before. So there's a little cap that sits on the bottom of it, and now I can see. Of course, I would see better if I had my glasses on. Okay, so the goal is to punch. It's a little dark. It's hard to see in the... Okay. So this is building a junk journal. So I'm literally just throwing stuff in here that doesn't match, that is not matchy-matchy. And if you wanted to, which I would, if you got an album like this, is I would get a piece of the plastic I use for my cutting mats. Do I have one out here? Or cardboard, like chipboard. Like, you know how you get like an order of something in the mail, like it usually has like a nice piece of chipboard. You could even make a template. Woo. Okay, competing agendas here. So if you were going to do this a lot, this would be a good idea, is to make yourself a little template that is more stiff and, you know, more sturdy, that is going to hold up to being punched all the time. Because this paper feels really delicate, and I'm afraid it won't be. Actually, I'm going to use my big punch for this just in case. I don't want to mess up my little punch. Ouch. And I'm going to unlock it. This is the big, I love this thing. Okay, so I'm trying to evenly line this up on the paper so it's, and I am an eyeball kind of girl, so I don't usually measure, but you certainly can. And then I am just punching through those holes. There we go. So just to be on the safe side, because I do not assume. So here, I'm just going to label it so that I remember that it's from my ledger punch template, my little ledger. So if I wanted to, you know, punch my card here, I would use that on the back side. So this becomes my new tool, and you could even like keep it in the back of your book so that you don't lose it, but that you always have it if you decide to, you know, get some kind of book or binder or whatever that has something like this, something that's very custom and that you're going to have to be doing a lot of punching. Because I don't think that you should, you know, be dissuaded from using something just because it doesn't have like a 6-hole punch or a traditional, you know, 3-hole punch or something. I think things like this can be really fun to use. It's just a matter of like, you just have to build your own and use a, you know, a good single hole punch. And the reason why this one is so fabulous is because it was designed to be super heavy duty. You can punch through chipboard, you can punch through other materials. I've used this to get through like AstroTurf. I put it through really thick gold glitter stock material, the like a very thin balsa. So there's a lot of benefits to using this type of, having this kind of tool in your arsenal. Just having like a regular 3-hole punch or the 6-hole punch, this guy gives you so much more flexibility in doing junk journals, because you can punch anywhere you need to. So that would be my that would be the one that I would recommend, is this one right here, for just having in your tools. If you do if you like this kind of like album type crafting. I hear something. It sounds like an Amazon truck. It is an Amazon truck. That would be my delivery. Okay, so I think I'm going to add this little card here. Okay, so So that one can go in there. It says stories unfolding. So you can start adding all kinds of different types of paper in between. You know, like I can start putting cut scrapbook paper in there, ephemera, maps, magazine pages, just cutting them up and just using them as a backdrop for my collaging and that kind of thing. So another, let me see here. Another one I got. So this is another one I also bought. So there was two of them. This is the extra paper that came with this one. So this one has even more holes. This one was a different style. This one is made by Wilson Jones, and it has these little tiny tabs in it, and the ledger is a little different. But as you can see, it's got a 6. So it's got 6. However, one cool thing it has is this plastic, I forget what they call these. It helps you turn your pages, but it's got a plastic one, and this would help you make a template for punching, I think. That would be a useful tool. So I actually got 2 when I got them. And this ledger is a little different. It's like more blown up, I would say. So there were quite a few on there when I looked. I was choosing between quite a few at the time. There certainly is not a run on these. Like, I don't think anyone is looking until now. So this is the extra paper that this one came with. I just didn't want to. I just felt it was like too thick with all of the stuff. So the other thing is like, so here's a Santa Ana, my high school. And I thought this was so neat. It has so many cool mid-century modern like sketches in it. And I love the color. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? It's pink and orange. Lesai. I love this. I love the writing on it. Like this, I don't want to call it a font because that looks like someone actually drew it. It totally reminds me of Chuck Jones, the way he would sign his name on the. So when I think of Chuck Jones, I think of like Tom and, am I thinking of right? Tom and Jerry. I think he did some of the Tom and Jerry, if not all of them. And he did some, what was the other characters he did? But that's what he reminds me of. He's got writing like Chuck Jones. So interesting. Okay, now there's also this one too. Classes. I love this. This old computer. I think that is so neat. So I was just trying to think of something like to add, but I noticed there's a lot of white space in this particular yearbook. So I wanted to add that. See, someone was using it to sign their yearbook. So I thought I would add this into my book. So I'm just going to tear out a page. Ooh, tearing it out. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so again, as a template, you could use your page, whatever you're doing, like to kind of cut it down. Obviously, I'm going to be cutting through somebody's face at this point. Or I don't cut somebody's face and I look at that. I won't be cutting their face if I choose to include time's endless corridors of experience. So it looks like it'll get cut off better. I don't want to cut through somebody's face. That just feels wrong. I'm not saying it won't happen because it probably will happen. But not my first time out. Okay. So there's my first strip. Some men, some people. Okay. So we're going to put that in there. This is fun, right? And now I'm gonna punch, which is, what am I doing? I don't know why I put that away. I wasn't done. Roxanne asked, where do I get all these old books? eBay. I think all of these came from eBay. I know that you can also buy vintage books on Etsy. I think that it depends on the, I go back and forth, so I'll check on Etsy too. But what I find is a lot of times Etsy sellers tend to be a little more expensive. I feel like their stuff feels a little, sometimes they might feel like they do a little bit more curation of their stuff and styling. And so I think that kind of makes for more expensive listings. Okay, so look how cute. So I'm just filling up my little junk journal. This is for my whatever. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this other than like do stuff on the Late Night Crafty Club maybe. But I also thought like if I could do some pockets in here. So this was last week. So I think I'm going to use one of these pages to do some kind of, I'm going to do some kind of collage on this page. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so let me get my little, like my little tray. That's my chat room. And I have all kinds of stuff. Hello, Josh. Hello, hello. Okay, so I have this. And I have this. What page should we do? Should we do the book page or this page? I feel like if I do that, I almost I kind of want to write on people's faces, but I know that, I don't know, that feels weird. Okay, so do I want to do a grid this time? A grid could be fun. Did I do a grid before? I kind of did. Let me see. Yeah, I did. But grids are so fun. Grids are easy. When you have no, they need party hats, right, Angela? That exactly. That's what we need. They thought they came to school prepared for their class picture, but no, they did not. They definitely need some party hats. Thank you. Good call. Okay. So the other thing I really like is grids. If you are wanting to practice and like mess around and just like do something super simple, but creative and crafty, this is where it's at, is just doing some like simple grids, moving your stuff around on the page and like checking it out. You could strictly go by color and it would be fun. It's a good time. Oh, and here's also a tab. I added a tab last time. Oh, nice. Better Homes and Gardens. Okay, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Da-da-dun-dun, da-da-dun-dun. Ooh, there's other stuff in here. I could pull out one of my cacti, like things in here and cut it out and put it in here. That would be fun. And I could even do, let me see here. Let's see if there's something interesting. There's the ice plant type flower. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, this one's good because it's got blue on one side, kind of pink on the other. I like that. Now, the cool thing about this one is like you could attach this page to this, like to something behind it. Like if you had a small image or a smaller piece of ephemera, you could back it with something bigger and then choose this to be what you punch and hinge. That could be fun. I know I'm covering up that though. Or if you had a page, it has like something cool on both sides. You know, you don't have to do that. But if you did do this, you could kind of like find a way to add cool stuff to it. You know, like I have this really cool little shape. Okay, let me see here. I don't know. I'm just trying to bring patterns and shapes together. It's Friday night and the feeling's right. Yes, it's Friday night. I think this is Chinese writing. Angela says that Amazon has the vintage sewing handyman books for about $7 to $12. I just bought them. Jump on it now while you can if you're interested in using that for a junk journal. That can be super fun. Plus you've got all the pages inside of it to do fun stuff with. Use that as, you know, ephemera. So I'm just trying to see, what do I like? Whew. Okay. Ooh, this tab right here would be cool because of its color with that. So this is something I need to glue. Okay, so what is a good thing to, I just brought a bunch of papers together that I really like the patterns together. And of course, I love these little staples. So let's add more. So there's like no rhyme or reason. It just all looks, the colors look yummy together. It just looks really fun. So like right there is just really one fun little way of bringing some texture or a fun pattern. I'm going to have this washi I've never used. I'm going to open this up if I can. Oh my goodness gracious, gracious. Oh my goodness. Okay, what are we crafting tonight, my friends? What is everyone working on? Let me know in the chat room. What are you working on tonight? What are you messing around with? Because maybe you could also be multitasking. Some people don't craft or do anything fun like that. They're doing they're making dinner or doing laundry. So there's no judgment for that. I'm just happy you're with us. So no worries, but I would love to know, what are you doing? So I'm going to glue that on there like it's a layering circle. It kind of blends. Corbu says, word search. Heidi says crocheting a baby blanket. Amy is preparing for a card class, doing her die cutting. Lucy says, is this ledger book you're using for camp? I probably will not be doing this for camp. I bought this for camp. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that. I will not know until I actually start, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to use because I really like pocket pages and stuff, and this is too limiting to do all that. Denise says, I'm fussy cutting for camp. Angela says, creating an accordion book to become a junk journal, maybe. Justine says, I'm sewing, making make-it bags for gifts. Aw. I love that. Okay, I don't like that. Where am I at? Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Just got home, so I haven't started anything yet. Okay, hurry up. Kick your little shoes off. We're happy you're home, all safe and sound. Okay, let me continue on. I lost where I was. Shelly K, foot soak and fussy cutting, hopeful and getaway florals for Craftivity Journal. Love that. Dice, I don't think I read your answer before. I could be wrong. Margaret, I'm sorting old postage stamp for use in my stamp album and for ephemera. My cousin Carrie. Laundry, making earrings, petting Roger. Give him 2 pets for me. Laura says, I'm working in my junk journal and doing laundry. Jen says, or trying to get your printer to print out June journal. Tell that printer what's up. Victoria says, I just found a couple on Poshmark. That's crazy. Lucy says, oh, okay. Oh, to my response. Hi, Holly Angel. Good to see you. She says, I'm junk journaling. Lucy says, this ledger is just for fun. Yes, it is just for fun. It's for the Late Night Crafty Club. For now, I have 2 of them, so we'll see. Maybe I'll become enamored with it, like I sometimes get enamored with things, and then I'll be like, I'm using this for everything until I move on to something else. I was missing doing junk journaling stuff and, you know, just putting crazy stuff on the page. So I just thought, I am just going to go where my creativity is asking me to go. I'm just going to do that. So if I want to jump back into the honeys again, I will. If I want to do the index cards, I will. I'm going to go where my creativity asks. Okay. I'm having some trouble lining up that hole. There we go. And there. That is gorge. And then, but this needs to come out now because we can't have that much blue back to back. That just won't do. No, ma'am. No, sir. So I need to put something there on that little tab. And I'm trying to think, let's do audacious. Let's do auspicious, if I can spell it right. I'm going to do audacious. I feel more comfortable with that word. And that is what I wanted to do, was have a album where I just put like a junk journaling place where I just put weird stuff in it. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to get back to this. Jan, hello, Miss Jan. She says she's cross-stitching. Janice is working on my one little word project. Miss Kelly is doing vintage book shopping. I love that. Bonnie says, I love your big binder. Thank you. Miss Deb Gilgore says, cutting out honeys I purchased and printed onto sticker paper. Thank you, Deb, for your support. Robin says, I'm doing some collage. Terry says, I'm junk journal and sorting for it. Kelly says, I'm sorting through crafty paper. Hi, Miss Holly. She says, this is going to be my first ever camp. Everyone says they're getting ready. What do I need to do to get ready? So I would say this is like a casual getting ready. And basically it is about, so first of all, my first question to you is, are you subscribed to my newsletter? Because that would be my first question, is that that would be super helpful if you are subscribed. Okay, so that's question 1. Are you subscribed? Because in my newsletter, that is where I'm sending out things, and the next thing I'm going to be sending out has to do with like ways to get prepared. But basically is like gathering up some self-care, like making yourself a little self-care kit, like what do those items mean to you, and getting your craft space tidied up and curating your craft supplies. So I am putting that together so that people would have an idea of what they would like to take to camp, our imaginary camp. But I do make sure that you have all of that set up before, like when camp goes up on the sales page, there's kind of an idea of what you'll get, and then when you enter camp, I'm going to hopefully make everything. You'll be able to like enter into the camp a week before it starts, so that you would be able to look around and have, get your bearings. That is my hope. But I'm going to do the supply list or whatever sooner than later. It's just that I don't know for sure all of the things that will be included as far as like any little extra workshops that will be done. So I'm just being super general. I try to make everything I do at camp be very easy, approachable, and stuff that everybody has, like junk journal supplies, just stuff that you want to put into your into a typical junk journal, stuff that would matter to you. That's pretty vague. Is that helpful at all to you, Miss Holly? I'm sure that really wasn't, but hi Sherry, she's on a fast trip in a car. Hi Julie Kaufman, some happy seeing your little face. I have not updated I was supposed to send out that particular newsletter this month, but then the end of the month just got away from me. And so, no, the supplies list didn't go, but I do tend to be pretty general with my supplies list, and it doesn't vary much from year to year. So I will probably try and make like that a very static list, and so that I can send it out there. I was just trying to like solidify in my head what exactly what are we going to be doing? So I will get that down. Hi, Miss Birdie. She's sorting about 600 papers for journal signatures and 500 envelopes. Oh, that's all? Miss Phone Junkie says, putting together a paper album of pics of my mom's coffee girls. Lucy says, I'm relocating my May Craftivity journal into a new, bigger binder. Oh, Lucy, does that suck when your printer doesn't print back to front? I feel you. And I hate it, but I'll reprint because that drives me nuts. Excellent. Justine says, I'm feeding the pup. I'm pet sitting and then making din for me. Okay. Okay. Awesome, Holly. Jackie, I'm watching you on my living room 55-inch TV. Ah! Great. Woo. And I'm putting together an ephemera book. Hi, Miss Jennifer. She says, I'm doing the small space creating. Love that. I love that. I love those little small squares. Sometime I might do that on the Late Night Crafty Club. Did I do that before? Have I done those small squares on the LNCC? Oh, I kind of feel like maybe I did. Why does that feel like it feels familiar? But I'm not going to swear to it. Camp. We love camp. That's right, Miss Bonnie. We do indeed. Miss Karen, I am making a file with some junk mail envelopes. Miss Julie, I was just wondering about the ledger. Right. This was a little purchase on eBay. So I have 2 of them, and this one, it is, oh, look, there's one right here. I didn't even realize it. This one's a Mead, and then I have a Wilson Jones. So it's a 5-inch by 8.5-inch. That's kind of like isn't that a little bit like an A5? I I know that one's like 5.5 by 8.5 inches or something like that. It's kind of like that. It's just a different orientation. Anywho, there's my audacious page. Okay, so now I'm moving on to another. I have this little pile. So can I show you something really cool? See this right here? I'm sure this looks familiar to you. So this is an original postcard that actually comes from the real Camp Reset. Only it's not Camp Reset. So this is it. This is what we use on all of our Camp Reset webpage, the graphics, everything. But what we did is we like recolored the doors so they're like more of our colors. And is there anything else we changed about it? This year there's been more changes to it, so it's been fixed in a different way. I can't remember. But this is Totem Lodge. Totem Lodge. Lovely new accommodations at Camp of the Woods in Spectator, New York. Isn't that cool? It's original. It's real ephemera. Mark found this for me on eBay, and he got me 2 of them. Now, I have one in my hand, so I cannot tell you what the other one is. I might have even gotten a total of 3. But this is very Cori. I only have one. I can't tell you where the other ones have gotten off to. Hopefully I will find it. But yeah, that is so cool. So there it is. That's our camp. And it's in a real postcard. I love this. So, is the inspiration. This is the magical place we are going in my imagination. So, I just think that would be so fun if we could really go there. So these are the Dr. Scholl's shoes that are magical, wonderful. I love them so much. I bought them in 2011. And these are the shoes I wore all over New York City. I loved them so much. I still own them. They are in storage. And so I went hunting for another pair for this trip because I was going to be doing, I thought, a lot of walking. And also I wanted a fresh pair for my birthday. So I went to go look, and they don't make them like this anymore. They changed the design. So yeah, I got another pair of Dr. Scholl's, the updated version. But I thought about those, and I was like, oh, I wish I could. They still made that particular design. Those little shoes have been with me a long time. Okay, so sometimes it can be fun just to, oh, woo, look at that. Santa Anita, 1964. Santa Anita. This is horse racing or dog racing. Hopefully, it's probably horse racing. 1964. Yeah, Santa Anita. That's dog. I keep saying dog. Actually, it could be either. It could be dogs or horses. That's what it was. So I don't know. I'll put that to the side. So what I want to do with this is use these letters to spell out a word here. But I want to make a backdrop for the word so that it stands out. So like I'm going to frame it with something like a paper. But what I want to do is put some kind of more fun color than that. That's kind of blah. That's blah. Can we agree? That's just very plain Jane. Also, I have these fun little cutouts from old vintage things. Maybe that would be fun too, is making a page that has these little circles. Maybe not. I don't know. That could be fun. So I just need to find something that is rectangular. Not that. Let's try over here. I just want to put it down here. This is really a favorite fun paper is this one. I love this. Love that. The pink lips. That could go in there. These were all cut down for my pocket pages. So these all fit like 4x6, 6x4 pockets. But that would be fun. Put some random picture in there. There's a random picture. Some of these are so old, like they feel like they're from my very, very first. I don't know if they are, but they feel like they are my first junk journal. A cute little skirt. See, that's just like leftovers from something else I cut, but I kept it, obviously. There's some weird paper. Here's some cork. It's got adhesive, is it adhesive cork? But this is really fun to put like in a pocket, the adhesive type. That can be a fun thing. Okay, so, ooh, here we go. There's some of that. Here's a fun pocket that you could slip something into. Here's some pictures that I had found before. Oh, that's the one I like. See, look, all this fun stuff I'm finding in here. Okay, so somewhere in here, this is something I could punch and put in here, this little piece of ephemera right here. I could also attach that to it and put something in here that's fun. I don't know what this was or like this came from. It's kind of a weird piece, but this could be like a little pull tab. I could attach this to something so it can be pulled out. That could be cute. This is like a little project, you know, that I need to find the other pieces to. Here's a little Spaceman. It came from a little, like an ad or something. He looks like a little spaceman. I don't know what else what else you can derive from that. So if I cut him this way, I don't want to cut him. No, I guess it would look weird if he was cut in that weird way. That would make no sense. So I have a bunch of weird little shapes from other projects that are now stuck in here, languishing. So here's a little girl with that same little, looks like she's got a little space helmet on. I could, with her, like I could put her on that. I don't know if that looks good or not. The other thing I could do is fussy cut her and then she would just be floating. The only thing is, it would look weird if she was, maybe if I put her that way. Would that be weird? If she had her head turned like that at the top of the, I think that would look weird. If only she wasn't cut right here, because she's actually really super cute. Some of this has got French stuff. Oh, look. There's another one of them. I don't know what this is about. I can't tell you. Oh, Julie, what are you saying? You used to live right there. What am I looking at? Is this? This? What was I showing that you used to live right there? Okay, I think I'm going to I feel like this would be so cute if I fussy cut him. Now, okay, I am okay. Oh, Santa Anita. Gotcha. Okay, we're all, I see lots of people saying horse. Okay. Horse it is. I believe I have the horse races that I believe I have been to are Del Mar, which is down in San Diego. Do not remember going to the Santa Anita ones. But I do think I've been to, doesn't Santa Anita have a really cool flea market when they're not having horse races? I don't like horse races. Okay, I'm cutting this guy. He's going, this is pretty quick work though. Just saying. Okay. Space helmet guy, he's out. He's out of his cage. So this is actually kind of cute. It makes him look like he's coming out of the paper. I don't know how I would do this. Let me see. Okay. Ha! I did it. So I'm going to cut him in a way that makes him look like he's coming up out of the paper. And I probably should have put the cap on my glue stick. Yikes. That's not cool, man. My poor little glue stick. You know, my other glue stick, it could handle that. It could handle being left out. Okay, so I cut the bottom of my little guy so he's like curvy down here, in which case it makes him look like he's... Hi, Miss Dawn! And then I'm going to rip the whole top of this. Should I put him in the corner? Nobody puts a spaceman in the corner. Okay. So I've switched my mind. No, that's not how we say that. I've changed my mind. I am going to put him there. And I am going to make... If I cut this down right here, he would sit in that corner. That's going to be, I don't know. I'm trying to make it look like, as my mom would say, I no care. Like, I intended it to look wonky and weird, and nobody, like, it just doesn't matter. Okay, hold please. I just want to... Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Dawn, we were talking about camp, getting ready for camp. Okay. Getting ready for camp. 1959. Okay, I don't want that. Let's see. H-O, when there's one O, L-A, Ola. Costa. Okay, Lucy, I'm doing this in your honor. We're going to make our spaceman a speaker of Espanol. Yes, so we're having camp again, Miss Dawn. It is launching July 11th. And for those of you who are asking about price, I don't have that figured out yet because I don't know exactly what I'm putting in camp now that I have to redesign it. So I will be getting all that information out. If you are on my newsletter, that will be heading directly to your inbox as soon as I have all the info. You'll be getting everything dripped out to you. Okay, so I'm going to attach this down here in the corner. I wanted this to look wonky, like it's deliberate that it's not on a... There we go. That looks wonky. I love that. I should do a little class. Embrace your wonky. That sounds funny. Okay. That's a lot of glue. But now he just looks like he's so chipper coming out of there, right? He's just like, hola. Okay, now they're not lining up right. And that's because why? Because I don't have... These letters are super old. 2014, October afternoon. Okay. Let me see here. Now, here's a question. Can I, or should I, put little white dots on my letters? First of all, I should glue this one down because it is misbehaving all over the place. Dawn, I forgot about your ankle. I believe that is how you were on the cruise as well. You were kind of in hobble mode. If I recall correctly, were you not? Am I misremembering this? Or were you in recovery from it at that point? Oh. Okay, hopefully this will stay on. Hopefully this looks like marquee letters now. I miss October afternoon too. Does that look like little marquee letters? I think that looks cute. Like letters you'd get Hobby Lobby. Get down. There's probably no glue here. Good night, Julie. Thanks for stopping by. Eat a taco for me. Do. Okay, we're going down. We're going down through the O, up the O. Okay. Hola. Doesn't he look so happy? He looks so happy and he's busting out of that little circle. I think that looks really cute. To me, this is all about the colors. I very much pick my stuff based on the color palette together. Would you say that is what draws you? How are you drawn to the materials that you use? Let me know in the chat. Hola. Okay. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien. I had a really mean Spanish teacher. He was mean. He did not make learning fun at all. And so I feel like I had a resistance to learning because I was so scared of him. He was the kind of teacher that liked to, like, I hate to say he liked to, but I don't know what else, like what other purpose could it serve? But he seemed like to really, he'd humiliate you if you didn't know the answer to something. He would like make you stand up in front of the classroom, or he would throw something at you. That was one of his things. He would throw his eraser from like the chalkboard. He would throw it at you. Lovely. That will make you remember answers, having stuff thrown at you. You wouldn't get away with that today. All right. Justine says, I choose by color palette and pattern. ¿Cómo está? Oh, Lucy. A little brain cell just fired off from high school. When you ask a question, is the ¿Cómo está, is the little question mark, is it in the front and it's upside down? Did I just make that up? If that's true, that little brain cell, yippee, needs a little high five. Because dang. Uh-oh. I hope that you don't lose your power either. Right? He must have been a sad man. I agree, Justine. I don't know. Hi, Miss Amy. She says mostly fallish colors is what she leans into. She says I'm drawn to, I'm sorry, you actually answered it up above. I'm drawn to cozy, rich nature tones and deep jewel tones, mostly fallish colors. Yes. Very good, Cori. No one's throwing an eraser at me. Holy cow. I feel so smart. I feel wicked smart. I can't believe I just remembered that. Seriously, how is like one little tiny thing? I was just bad-mouthing this man for being so mean to us, but that literally just clicked in my head when you ask a question in Spanish. The question mark goes at the front and it's upside down. So in sign language, which I have, I got a degree in sign language interpreting. Your questions are your eyebrows, basically. When you ask somebody questions, your eyebrows go up like you're expecting an answer, like, okay. So you have to be very expressive in sign language, which can be very awkward and embarrassing when you're a introvert, I discovered. I am wicked smart. Margaret, I figured you were going to say something, being from Massachusetts. Wicked smart. Okay. So, hola, ¿cómo está? He's so cute. He reminds me, he's like my little Ricky Ricardo. He's my little Ricky Ricardo spaceman. I have a whole story for him. Okay. It's fun to make up stories. Do you guys make up stories for your crafting? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Hi, Kate. She says my high school Spanish teacher was a known recording artist. He would name drop weirdly, like, "Oh, I'm just so tired today. I was performing for the King of Spain last night." Oh my gosh, that's funny. You know, Margaret, I kind of believed that you did not have that accent. Something inside of me said that you did not. When I got to Maine specifically, I was like constantly putting my ear out the window whenever we came to like any place where there was people gathered, like at the gas station and I was constantly listening for people to talk with that Maine accent. I really, really wanted to hear it. Okay, let's see. Do I have some colors that would work in this, or does it take away from this purple? Takes away from this. Does that take away from it? Okay, so this is not the right washi. This is just some washi hanging out on my desk. Washi, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. Let's try this washi. This washi is... Margaret says, I love the Maine accent. It turns out it's in Vermont and New Hampshire as well. Yeah, it is so interesting how accents work. Okay, so this is a fun little washi. It is it's a traveler's notebook. I don't know why that doesn't like to be. There we go. Local Things Travelers Company in Korea. And it's got all like this fun little foods and stuff. So that's what I'm putting on here. It's really cute. I'm going to see where does it belong? If I put it over here, Mrs. Gail Finley. Okay, I think it belongs there. That is so cute. Okay, I definitely need more stamps though. It's like kind of like more cowbell, but more stamps because this is, you know, it wants to be there. Oh, by the way, I got a new date stamp. It turns out the date stamp that I was telling you guys about last time, and I said I bought it. Okay, I need to put something on my lips. I was telling you guys how I found this place in Florida. It's called Lighthouse something. Well, I ordered 2 because I said to myself I would need a backup because I tend to lose stuff like that. So I ordered 2 of them. The day that I got it, I brought it back here and I opened the drawer and I have it already. I already own one. So now I have 3. But boy, they go up to like, what did I, 2030, 2031. So it goes up to 2031. So sometime between now and 2031, I could lose at least 2 of them. That's really good odds that I will. So it's not the worst thing that I have 3 roller date stamps. I recommend everyone listening to me that you have a roller date stamp in your arsenal. They're just, it's like such a good basic to have. Okay, this is 2020. Oh, my Lanta. This one isn't even for this year. What? This one is 2026 is when this one starts. Please tell me that that's not true of these. I don't. Maybe this one is different than the ones I got. I just assumed. I mean, it looks like it. This is a Studio Calico one. I really, really love the. I think this is Studio Calico. I could be wrong too. I'm not trustworthy. The font on here. What do you call it when it's not really a font, but the text, whatever, the text type print. I love that. I can't wait to use that one. Okay, let's try this one. This looks a little bit different than this one. I don't think they're identical. And yes, it's 2025. How do I own a roller stamp that starts the first year you can use it is 2026? That's funny. Has anyone bought a stamp like that? I don't even know where I got that. It was literally in my drawer. And I haven't reached for it in forever. I don't even know how it even got there. Because if I had it and like knew I had it, I would have put it in this organizer unit up here on my desk. It's like it metamorphosed on in my drawer, and it's not even something I can use. Oh, that's a crazy story. Almost sounds like I made it up. Okay. So what are we going with tonight? We're going with mushroom. We're going with Concord & Ninth Premium Dye Ink Mushroom. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hi, Tamara. Good to see you. Dawn says, when I travel with other Canadians, I am told my accent is different than everyone else. Well, that's interesting. Lucy says, my husband's family is from New England. We love their accents. My kids were born in New Hampshire. We moved to Delaware 29 years ago, but when they grew up, they moved back north and now want us to move up too. So you can live in even colder. Is it hard for you to live in such a cold climate after where you grew up? I met, when I went to New Hampshire, I got my nails done, and the owner of the salon, he was from Vietnam, and I asked him, when you first moved here and you're like your first winter in New Hampshire, what was that like? Because I would imagine someone who's lived their whole life in some place like Vietnam, how do you even prepare for a New England winter, a nor'easter? What does that look like? And he said that the first winter, he said, I shoveled my own walk. I shoveled everything. The next winter, I got a blower. Okay. Hopefully it's May 30th and not the 31st. It's May 30th. Okay. So I'm just stamping away. Okay. So May 30th, 2025. I think I'm going to take it down a little bit further. I'm going to take it down all the way into Jamestown. All right. So it's all the way there. Hi, Andy. I see you. And hi, Anita. Hi, Bren. And hi, Miss Diana. Did I miss anybody else? Came in late. Okay. And then, so that's going in there. I would punch this, or I don't punch this and I actually just, fasten it down to some paper, maybe instead of just, pasting it down, because you see how it gets kind of lost when you put something that's kind of ledgery on top of something ledgery. Maybe it needs to be on something that's rather bold. So here's a good time to look through something else. What do I got? Look at that. I opened up to some like Art Nouveau pattern. But what else do I got? This is what I pulled out another time. Ooh, that's pretty. Of Amsterdam backyard. These are some of the pictures I used to give a honey a dress. Was this Bollywood? These are the girls in trees. This photographer from the past, she was like really into taking pictures of women in trees. Or it was a man. A German photo enthusiast. That's so funny. I wonder if he like asked him to go up in the tree, or if he just happened to come across a bunch of women in trees. So this would be a cute pattern paper to put in there, and it's like cardstock, which is the really neat thing about Flow. They're really about the Daphne du Maurier. If you like the book The Birds or the movie The Birds, this is actually the lady who wrote The Birds. And I may have mentioned this before, but the book and the movie are very, very, this is sign language for different. They're very different. There are very different storylines. And the book, which I listened to on audio, you can listen to it on, there's a YouTube channel that he has a British accent. Oh, it's so fabulous. And I was so entranced listening to him, I missed my exit on the freeway, which is, I do that without listening to anything. But I want to read other stuff she's written. She's, yeah. Diana says, women in trees. That is weirdly hilarious, right? Andy says, I actually dislike anything over 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Agreed. We could all live in a air-conditioned little compound. Okay, so I'm looking for something to create a page, a backdrop for my card. It doesn't have to be cardstock. It just needs to be some kind of fun background. Like, that's not big enough of a background. Oh, Annie says, I listened to that, Cori. It was so good, right? Wasn't it so different than the movie? It was like it was like an entirely different thing. Oh my gosh, so good. In fact, I think I could listen to that again. I had no idea that Alfred Hitchcock had based his movie on, it was a book, and that he had taken such huge liberty with his version. So spoiler alert, in his version, or the book's version, Daphne's version, the original, there is no Melanie. There is no Griffith. Sorry. I think her name is Melanie in the movie, but there is the blonde Melanie Griffith's mom. I'm thinking Janet Leigh. There is no Janet, right? No, that's from Psycho. I'm mixing up my blondes. The actress that plays in The Birds, help me out. Melanie Griffith's mom. She's not in the book. That's not what the story is about. Do yourself a favor. It's like, ooh, chills. It's like Mufasa. Hi, Miss Gail Letters. Look at that. Janet Hill. She is such a talented artist. I love her, love her, love her. Ah, Lisa. I have one of her paintings right there. You can't see it off camera, and another one in the front part of the RV. And I have several. Here's another one of her things, and I have several of her stuff that's waiting for me in my storage. She's such a talented artist. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, she would be cute. She would be cute in here, like almost like she's like lounging in on the page. So I'm gonna take her out where she's trapped in here. And I'm going to find a way for her to be lounging in my book. Okay. There's Iris. Isn't that cute version of Iris Appel? Try one more. I was just hoping that there'd be something cool in here to use, but nothing is grabbing my... Those are cute. I don't want to just rip stuff out that I'm not immediately going to use because I'm afraid I'll lose it. That's a pretty green. This color right here. Ooh, fabric. I love that color palette. That's gorgeous. Guitars. So it's got to be, ooh, sassy lady. So it's got to be something, because this is kind of like going to be in the center. So see how like little picture would show around it? It's really got to be something that can like really stand out on its own. There's Jamie Oliver. There's Janet Hill. Okay. I think Flo is just not, it's not going to be Flo. Flo doesn't have the answers tonight. Okay, let's try some random paper. This kind of looks like no paper I would ever use for this project, and yet it feels like the perfect paper because it does feel a little 1970s wrapping paper from Pick and Save. All right, it does give me total 1970s vibes, like stationery, doesn't it? This is Vicky Bouton, don't you know? And I'm gonna cut that. And I think, I don't even know if this is gonna be the backdrop, but I just think this paper is fabulous and it should be in my book regardless if it works for this or not. Right? Isn't that cool? And maybe I like will cut it. Maybe not a full page. Maybe it's just like kind of part of a page. Tippi Hedren. Wow, that's not at all where my brain was going. Interesting. So see what I'm saying? See, now it looks even more vintagey. But if I use it, I feel like my stuff is like, it's kind of sinking into it. It's not popping off of it. Does that make sense? However, let's flip it over. See what I'm saying? Pop. Pop, 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 pop. You've been popped. That is a very different experience. So this pops and this drops. it sinks into the picture. It doesn't stand out. And I think it probably has a lot to do with the color palette. This sitting on top is too similar to what's below it, and so it's just kind of sinking in. But I have actually come to love that daisy print, actually, the more I've been looking at it. I'm glad I took a chance and bought some of that, because I would not have normally done that. Okay, so Amy says, I just bought the birds on Audible. It's big time on sale. It's very soothing. Oh, excellent. Hi, Dion. Everyone say hi to Dion. Aw, it has been a long time. Come hang out with us, even if you don't feel creative or crafty, because we all go through those little dips in our creativity where we're just kind of like not necessarily feeling it. And Camp Reset is going to be coming up, and that's self-care. That doesn't have to be crafty. I'm going to be doing other stuff just besides crafty. I like talking about the self-care stuff too, because that's important, especially at our ages, at our glorious ages that we're at. I just turned the big 5-4. So to that point, I just had my first girls getaway with my daughter and my mother. This is our first time ever doing that, ever. My mom is 77, my daughter is 34. So it actually was a lot of fun. I wasn't sure how things were going to go, and it actually was really fun. And my daughter brought her dog, whom me and my mom adore. So we went thrifting, we went antiquing, just doing just kind of like not for hours at a time, like just a few places here and there, because we didn't want to leave her doggy too long. And then, getting seafood. We watched Guardians of the Galaxy for my dad, because his day where we celebrate him in his memory, that is right before my birthday. And then we ate a lot of seafood. And we had this beautiful Airbnb that looked out over the Puget Sound. It was in this place called Port Orchard. So it was really, really a lot of fun. We really enjoyed ourselves, and I hope to do it again. Okay, that is bomb. That is so yummy. This is from the tabs that we're always advertising. In fact, they're right there on the screen. If you're like, oh, it just went away. This is from the Adored collection. Delicious. Justine says, I'm 54 and my daughter is also 34. Ah. So that's kind of a youngish mom as well. I did not know we were the same age. Look at all the hellos, Miss Dion. Everybody missed your face. Okay, so oh, here we go. So now I'm gonna punch it real good. Oh, where's that? There it is. Okay. I don't know what time it is. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's happening. I'm just... Oh, cousin, you flatter me. Are you saying that just because we're so close in age? You're like literally 1 year younger than me. You don't look 54. Okay, this is getting stuck in there. I can't get those little fun little papers. Maybe if I did that would help. Oh, and the other thing that was fun is my mom, who I think I have mentioned this. She absolutely loves Korean rom-coms. This is her Korean romantic dramas that are prolific on Netflix. They are prolific. If you start watching them, they will fill your Netflix feed. Anyway, they're very they're different than our romantic things, shows and such. They're very modest, and they're more wholesome than ours are, for sure. So, anyway, they there you go, Carrie. See, I see what's up. Anyway, we watched some of those. My mom wanted us to see what she's been watching lately. So that was fun. Oh, hi, Julie. Good to see your little face. Did I miss somebody coming in? Okay, so we talked about the hats earlier, and now I have some girls over here. Let's see, should I put a... Well, see, the problem with these hats, as I see it, is they're not very... that hat, let's just say that hat. That hat does not have bright... a bright, spit it out. Like a bright pattern. It needs a little oomph. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Oh, the other thing. It's kind of neat because there's writing in here, like somebody signed it, you know, someone's yearbook, which is sweet. Getting your yearbook signed. Sign my yearbook. You know what's funny? As I've been looking at things people write in their yearbook, so like, even if it was 20 years before, or 30 years, or 40 years, people pretty much write the exact same thing in each other's yearbooks, no matter what generation you're in. Now, I can't speak for like Gen Z, or millennials, because I don't have access to any of that. But if you're the other two generations, I saw a range of yearbooks, and it was really funny that people just had the same things to say. This lady reminds me of you, Dion. This is one of the honeys. Okay, so do I want to make a little... Why is this not working? I have all these like little pieces. Oh, how about if I did it right here? I just started building it up right there. I'm just building up a patchwork. Okay, that does not want to fit. Why? Was it punched in a weird way? Okay, so I have a real thing about the way I punch, the direction I punch things in, and this one's not working. So that tells me that I have the main one turned wrong. So when it comes to like punching shapes that have like photos in them, I always make sure that like the pointy tips when I do hexagons are up and down, not like that. So when as far as like, see how the picture, the orientation is, I always line things up that way when I do them. So I could tell that one was not working. Therefore, I was doing it wrong. Okay, so this one is just a little trickier to set up. So I want to come about halfway through here to get that. I don't even know if I'm going to end up using this, but... You know what? I do have one of these over here. It's like he got his this little comrade is over here. Oh, how about this? It's like his wife is over here and his kid. The Ricky Ricardo Spaceman. Hola. Okay, I'm going to put this here and this here. I'm going to keep trying until I make it work. That way. So they don't want to fit all the way on here, but if I move that into his space, maybe that will work. I love building these things so much. I've done them like in every camp. I've built one of these little fabric quilts, paper quilts. I'm just trying to find the right. Good night, Miss Margaret. Dion says, I still have my giant Dion, honey. I had another one made for my new house. Aw. So you have a new house. You're not in the your little trailer, your cute little trailer. I'm glad you had that little fun adventure and that you got to move into a house. Okay, let me try that. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to cut I think I have discovered that I do not have the right kind of paper maybe to finish this out. Or the scale of these is too big and I'm going to have to get smaller hexagons. 730. Oh, is that an icky? I don't know. I think it would look cooler if there was more floral in here, but there really isn't. What if I just had 3? 3 would be good. Let's see. This is like the halfway. That's a fun thing to do, is like cut your hexagon shapes in half and then kind of glue them back on each other so like you can make a whole new pattern or something. Of course, none of these work with that. You can do it the same way, like doing like a tip like that. Ooh, how about this? Okay, is that weird? Yeah, that's not enough color. That's too much color. Okay, so I'm going to take this. This is like really thick, and I want to find a pattern that feels like it works. It needs to, let me move this over a little bit. It needs to kind of feel like it goes with the whole spread. So, let me see here. Ooh. Okay. Whoop. I just spilled my water. Okay, so let me try here and find some pattern that feel like there's that. Is it yellow I need? Is it stripy? Is it something bold like this? Okay, so I'm going to cut this one and see what happens. Great. Let me see here. Okay, Dion says that no, she's still staying small. I refuse to let the kids move back home. I'm deliberately going to stay in a very small space so that my kids cannot move back home. Hey, I understand. You have a lot of children. I think there's a lot of people out there that can completely relate. If I keep my living space very small, those kids cannot come back and live with me. Okay, so let's see here. I have that one and then this one. Somehow it always makes me feel better if I can see it in the... Getting closer. It was getting closer. What wants to come out? Is it this? Do I want some pink in there? See, making shapes, like normally I would, these are like punched shapes, but I don't know where my punch is right now. But doing stuff that I'm doing right now, like punching shapes or cutting up shapes so that I can use them when everything starts, that would be something that you could do to get ready. Sorting through your craft supplies, picking stuff that would be really fun to craft with. Good night, Shelly K. Okay, I think this works better for me as far as a color palette goes. Okay, now we're cooking. Okay, so this is more delicious. This works better. The only thing now is I need to get it cut off here the right way. Unless I use this as like a tab. Let me see here. I have to cut this. Where is it going to cut? Maybe I should do it towards the bottom. Okay, so I want this to be fully on the page and then that to be cut. So not all of them can be on the page together. One of them has to dip down. And so when I do this, I try to either cut it from this side to this side, just like straight across like that, or I do a full like half. So like try to make it even. So I think I'll go half on this. Which is why I have so many of these little half C things in my arsenal. Oh my gosh, this glue. This glue is nuts. Okay, so there's that one. Oh my Lanta. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I get the pink one here. And then no, wrong side. All right. Now I have glue all over my fingers. Okay, so you want to like keep that line straight in between, like as if there's an invisible line going down the center of your the shapes, because there is. Hexagons are very unforgiving, right? Because they're very, it's all about these straight lines that they have. Perfect uniform shapes. We learned that in geometry. Hark.
Do you need this, sweet girl?
Do I need what? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're so sweet. What am I going to do when you're not?
Audacious.
Oh, speaking of, here's another thing that might be changing because I do the Late Night Crafty Club at 5 o'clock here. He definitely will still be at work. So, I do not know how to use the software, all this fancy software that you see right now, that you're enjoying right now. I don't know how to use any of that stuff. He tried to, show me, get me to learn how to do it, but I don't know how to do it. So, what's probably going to happen is we're going to switch platforms to a platform that I will know how to run better. I researched like what is the easiest platform out there to run when you're not tech savvy. That's how I decided to look for it. And we did some investigation. We found some really good options. So that's what we're going to do is, does that look good? What's that? And that's what we're going to do is switch from using this thing called OBS. It will not change the fact that you're still watching it on YouTube. So nothing changes for you as a viewer. It will just look different. It will not be as fancy. Good night, Ellen. It won't be as fancy. Other than that, it will be the same thing. You'll still come to the YouTube channel and all that. Ooh, that looks good. There we go. Does that look better than that? As much as I love that, like that's more bold and fun. I don't know. Oh, now I'm torn. So that does look good together, but that's like how? But is it taking your eye away from everything? No, I like it. No, I'm going to go with this. It's too late. Don't talk me out of it. I've glued it down. It's happening. Aw, yay. Thanks for stopping by, Deanna. It was so good to see your little face. Come to camp. Okay. So there's that. Cap. Need a cap. Oh, there it is, right there in front of my face, right there. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Stay gold. All right, that's what I'm going to put here. Stay gold. Dun, dun. I will and I shall, Miss Dion. Well, thank you, Miss Jackie. I'm gonna put stay gold. Gonna put stay gold. Okay. We're doing stay gold. What Gen Xer does not know the deep philosophical meaning of stay gold? Especially when it is said to you. Sorry, not to you, but you wish it was said to you by one of the cutest actors in Hollywood. Huh? Right. Okay, now, I need my black pen. Sherry, it's because you weren't allowed to watch The Outsiders. When I come to visit, we need to catch you up on all of the teenage angst movies you missed out on. We will get you caught up so you can wear your Gen X flag. You can fly that proudly. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there you go, Jitters Ant. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot again. We have to do the hats. The hats. Okay, let me see if I can make a... Oh, here's my hat for like, here is my template for a hat. I have all these. So the first hat needs to be gold. What if they all had gold hats? Because it says stay gold, right? That is the name of the game. Makes me want to watch it. Cherry Susan, yes. So yes. I had my little tape recorder. You know those little tape recorders that are like part radio, part tape recorder? I put it up next to the TV so I could record it all when it came out on like HBO or whatever, and I could listen to it over and over again in my room. So I feel like I can remember it more audibly than I can visually because of how many times I listened to it. You know what? I feel like she needs, do you think she needs the wider hat? I think she does. That's a bouffant hair if I've ever seen one. Yeah, she needed that. And then I need to give this guy something else, and I need to do it fast because I just took and then get the little dots going across. And I'm trying to think here what I can do. Boogaloo. What do I got to work with here? I have this one. Okay, this has been an interesting experience with there you go, working in my book tonight, because I ended up doing something I was even planning to do. I was just like showing how to punch paper and add paper, and I ended up making stuff that this wasn't even my plan. I had a whole other plan, and then this happened. My little creativity was like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to make her a little, I'm making her a little crown of stars. So sometimes it's fun to have like a little fun pocket. You guys remember my little pocket art challenge? So that album is another fun little album to work in. What I want to do is have everything organized on an actual website where you can hop on and see like all my really simple little craft ideas that I have and be like, I want to, you know, pick something to craft. And here it is. Here's all my little, here's the videos that I've done supporting this particular project. Here's all the ideas I have for this little project. I have a workshop for the Pocket Fever. I forget what we called it. Was it Pocket Fever? It's part of camp. Okay. Apparently, our internet doesn't like us right now. And guess what? This is all the fun stuff that I will have to deal with all by myself. I will be sitting there helplessly going, I don't know what to do. But Mark didn't know what to do either, so. Sometimes you just don't know what to do. It's out of your hands. And let's face it, if you have any experience watching my channel, you know that because primarily my channel is about live streams, and live streams are just like they're not easy. They're not for the faint of heart. Did I just drop out again? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give her a flower in her hair. A flower in her hair. And I just thought of something. This washi has some incredible properties to it. It actually kind of looks like there's that. I need another tab for this page, which I saw one earlier. You're getting the unfiltered version of this show. Unfiltered. The After Dark. It's like there's these little yellow flowers that are really, really cute. And if you cut them just right, you can almost fool yourself into thinking they look like a little pattern on their clothing. And so I choose to tell myself that. I think it works better on that girl with the gray shirt because her shirt's so gray, like it's the perfect shade to make that look like it's blended in. So this piece right here is really big. I'm gonna hold this up. Okay. Jackie, are you listening to my voice right now? I have a big request. It's a big ask. Right? Angela, the poor lady top left. If a sparkle hat won't make her smile, nothing will. Yeah, she looks like a pretty serious person. Okay, don't be scared. You okay, are you in the clubhouse? I can just message you in the clubhouse. I believe you to be. But I don't want to I don't want to ask you here now because I'm like, what if you don't, I don't want to put you on the spot. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Okay. I don't know if that looks cute. I'm undecided. I'm gonna take this off of her. I think it looks better on her than on her. Let me see. Okay, I'll leave that on her. Okay, you wrote me the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful comment on one of my videos, and I wish I had grabbed it because it would have made a gorgeous testimonial. And I cannot for the life of me. I have no idea where it went, what video it was on. And I have tried, oh, how I've tried to find it. And so I am wondering if you would mind writing a testimonial because it was really amazing. And anybody listening to this, I open up that invitation as well. I would love a testimonial about your experience at camp. Your experience in camp would be wonderful. It would be wonderful if you could do that. The Reset Girl brand, the community, anything I've been doing in the past 10 years. I'd love that because I need to get it on my, I am collecting them and I would love to get it on my website. That would mean a lot to me. If you have a moment to do so, sending it to me at Cori at theresetgirl.com would be great. Someone did this for me already, and I know off the top of my head, I'm going to remember it as soon as the live stream is over, but I know who you are. You have already done this for me. It was very sweet. But I would really appreciate it. But Jackie, you wrote something so beautiful. It like literally brought tears to my eyes. It was so wonderful. So anyway, I have gotten many, 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 many wonderful testimonies over the years. And I just, because we've used so many systems and we've used so many different things and so many different people have helped us that I don't know where everything went. I don't know where it all went. I don't know where all that beautiful stuff went. So now I have to ask, can I get a testimonial? Can I get some testimonials? So thank you very much, Miss Jackie. I appreciate it. But I would love testimonials from anyone who would love to share your experience at camp, your experience with the Reset Girl. It would be wonderful. I would love to put it on my website. I have like a whole little scrolly thing I want to add it to and all that good stuff. So you would be immortalized. So I want to add, like, I feel like I don't have enough color. This is like not enough for me. So I need to think about what I want to do here. I don't want to rush it. I don't like rushing myself. I need to think about how can I might even have to like give him a different hat maybe so that she has the sparkle hat. And then make their hats different, make like what goes on them different so they have more, see how like they have their own little personalities. I want them to have like their own little special thing. So I want to do that. And I think I need more time to focus on that. I feel like my little creative battery is it's like drained. It's drained. I think I've gotten to the 3-hour mark and I've ran out of steam. But let's assess what I have done thus far. So I made my little Hola, ¿Cómo está? Page for my little Ricky Ricardo little Spaceman guy. On some scrapbook paper that I added, which I think is really fun. It feels very vintagey 70s in here. Right? She's the birthday girl, Roxanne said, but she looks grumpy. We all agree she didn't bring her smile that day. Maybe someone broke up with her right before her pictures were taken. And then we have the beginning, like I did my little signature little hexagon-y pattern, which I love doing this. And then I began the detail of adding like little details to their thing. I want to find some better hat, like this little triangle thing is not working with them. I want to see what other hat shapes can I come up with so we're not all wearing the same hats, because that would, just to give a little bit of difference. And then I have these lovely kids on this side. So, yeah, so that's like a whole other little thing to decorate. And I added some extra papers. I did this little page from my book, and it's all about color, audacious color, and just making it like vibrant and just adding, it's like a pop of color. So this is a junk journal. So I'm just using this as like a little paper playground. It's my little paper playground. So just the fun of adding different types of papers, ephemera. I'm basically giving you a little mini tutorial of like, how does one kind of create a junk journal. This would be a ring bound style junk journal. I've made it my own. I've used kind of like a binder that was meant to be somebody's little ledger, which I find this really fascinating. Why in the world would you want a ledger that is so short? I find that very fascinating. There must have been a reason, because, quite a few companies made this size. So 100 debit credit balance forms. Just fascinating. I'm going to ask my mom, because this is the kind of stuff my mom did in her secretary life. So I'm going to ask her if she could posit a theory on it, because why? So I think this is really, really, really cool. And so it's kind of a fun thing to play around with. So if you have any kind of ring bound, anything that you want to like adapt for a junk journal, it doesn't have to be for camp. You could do it for any reason. If I definitely have, so I do have some thoughts about kind of restructuring, redoing, resetting things in the clubhouse after camp, because I think after camp would be a wonderful time to kind of like sail into fall with a totally different project, it's just a different attitude. Fall is just such a vibe. It's just such a mood. It's so different than the rest of the year. And I feel like it just sort of invites you into this very reflective, very slow, it's the slow season to me, even though it isn't because there's like holidays and stuff towards the end of it, but I feel like it just kicks off into a lovely season of contemplation, and just you can feel nature winding down, you feel the season kind of winding down. So I feel like it would be a good time to kind of reset things and maybe start this new project I have in mind. And something like this where you're kind of messing around with like paper play and junk journaling, and then also kind of maybe documenting your life. How many of us document our own selves? Not your family, not your kids, not your grandchildren, you. How many of you actually document you? Like your morning coffee, your thoughts, I'm not talking about journaling necessarily. I mean, like you take the time to build like a little album about you. This is something like Allie Edwards, I think, is a really big proponent of stuff like this. She's very big on collecting ordinary moments. But what if you just had a dedicated album space binder that was just about you and your year, just you, and developing maybe your goals, maybe a project, maybe, your creative practice, but just maybe you had prompts to work with and it was just kind of guiding you through capturing and making memories with yourself. And I say this because I realized that I just spent a whole year of my life and didn't take any pictures of myself, didn't do anything. And that is just incredibly sad to me, because that's how I started. This whole thing was being on Instagram all the time and click, 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 like photographing so many things. So, yeah, so I realized that I have gotten out of practice, out of habit of looking at my life in a way that like is inspiring to do memory keeping. And maybe that tends to happen to women our age. Maybe that I'm more prone to that because I don't have grandchildren. I'm not getting out and doing all kinds of stuff like I used to. So maybe that tends to happen, is that you kind of slow down in thinking in those terms. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to change my thinking. I'm trying to change how I look at things. And so, as I often do, sometimes when I think about stuff like that, I think I want to build a practice or build a tool and then offer it to other people so they'll do it with me. That's kind of the nature of how I run my biz. See, Roxanne and Jittersant are both like, same here, me. Yeah, I think it is a thing. You know, as you're in that middle age stage and then moving forward, I do think that we just kind of slow our thinking on it, you know, that we're worth capturing, even the smallest things. But I have really been doing this craftivity journal, and it has really gotten me thinking about it differently than I used to, and I think that's really been helpful. So I think by the time as we approach fall, I think that I want to be preparing for a new project and a new way of doing things. So hopefully I'll have all of that ready by the time fall comes, and it will be really cool. So just thoughts. I hope so, because I would like to make these changes. And accountability is always better when, you know, you do it with other people. So I think you can only have accountability when you have it with other people. I'm glad I just caught myself on that now and not like an hour from now when I'm laying there going, I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe I said this. Sometimes I do that after the show. Like, why did I say that? So I need to think about some kind of cute little cover embellishment. I love making little embellishments for as a cover. So this will be something fun. But anyway, you don't have to use something like this. Certainly there's all different kinds of things you can do. You can just use loose rings, but just making some kind of fun little practice junk journal if you've never made one before, and just get this sense of like, hey, cutting down some paper, finding different types of paper that thrill you. Maybe you're not into office paper. Maybe there's other types of paper that you like. So gathering those things, sorting through your stash. What kinds of stuff do you want to see if you come to camp? What kind of stuff do you want to see in your camp junk journal? What do you want those pages to be made out of? Do you want to see pocket pages rather than papers? Do you want to have everything neat and tucked into little slots? Because if that's the case, then, you know, you want to look into like 6x8 photo binders possibly. These are the questions you should be asking yourself now so that you don't waste any time when camp gets here and you're still waiting on your order. So ask yourself these questions now. How do I want my little documenting my camp experience to look like? And also, it doesn't have to be even this, you guys. It doesn't have to be fancy. Can I just show you something for those of you who are like, I don't even know what we're doing, and I don't know if I'll have time for any of this. Where's that thing that I showed you earlier? Oh, see, I tossed it in my little crafty chest. Okay, so the reason why I bought these is because I wanted to have a demonstration, which we're going to do right now. I wanted to show you that a camp junk journal can simply be a little journal like this. You can just get a notebook and you can print the things that come with camp. You can you take little photos, print them and paste them onto the pages. That That's what I would love to see, is you actually document your little yourself and print them. But that is, you don't have to. You don't have to. If you would rather just journal, you can certainly do that. But a simple like A5 gives you more room. But if you want to be cozy, if you want it to feel like a cute little, like very cozy little journal and make very small little pages that don't feel overwhelming, then I would probably go with your A5. No, that's not what I meant to say. Oh, my Lanta. My planner girl brain. Literally just. This is an A5. Oh my gosh. What is that called? No, it's not that. That's not what I'm thinking. But thank you, honey. That's not what I meant. Okay. I'm looking for it. It's right up on my. Here it is. What is this? What is this? Help me out, planner girls. What is this? What is this? Oh my goodness. Please, please tell me. Okay, so this is my little Muji notebook. All it tells me is just the size. It does not tell me what it is. A6, A6. Thank you, Justine. Okay, so yes, you can do a traveler's notebook, A6 sized notebook. This is a pretty thick one. This would probably be kind of crazy. I actually use this for like my all of my beauty products and stuff. I kept things organized in here. Like if I watched a YouTube video and they would talk about a product and what it did, I would make notes in here because it's really easy to forget. Well, what does niaminocide do? What does the provitamin B5 do? I hope that's not the same thing. Anyway, I was using this for that. So this is pretty thick. This would be kind of crazy to do such a thick one like this, but if something thinner, this is for those of you that just want to do simple, and you can. So something simple. And then the simplest of all is not doing it at all, because you don't have to make a junk journal whatsoever at camp. There are other things to do at Camp Reset. Remember, Camp Reset was not about a junk journal when we started. It was, the whole point of it was about providing you prompts and giving you guidance and giving you ideas of how to create resets and self-care in your routine, and giving you permission to do so, and giving you like this fun experience where it's all packaged for you. And here's your little roadmap of what you're going to do because you're at camp today. So it's providing you Pinterest boards with ideas and videos to watch and things to do in your home. And then you can check into our like live camp platforms. So you can engage with other campers and see what other people are doing. And that's camp. So there's no pressure to make anything if you do not want to. So that's really the simplest route, is nothing. So those of you who are a little concerned about all this crafty business, you do not need to be. Okay, that's the simplest step of all, is just not making it. This would be the next step up, which is just having a notebook that you can capture and paste in, and just be very simple, like a kid would. You know, a kid at camp would just like glue and paste in your little book. This is simple. So we're just elevating the rest of it to all those of us who have all the craft supplies that we just need to use. We just need to use our stuff. Hi, Courtney. She says, I definitely got away from it after having kids. If we didn't do it as a family, should I scrapbook it? Yes, you should. And that is what you came to the conclusion. So even just an inexpensive composition notebook. Indeed. I of course just wanted to be fancy. Yes, so you can Shar, there you are. Please know that I am a I have not forgotten, but I have to email you to explain why it's taken me so long to email you. And I think hopefully when you know why, you'll understand. I'm so embarrassed, but I'm so happy to see your little face. Good night, Heidi. Thanks for joining us. Sherry says, I have so many different things I could use. It makes me so confused. Whatever you whatever you will feel best using, like whatever will feel best creating in, however you enjoy working. Like, do you enjoy just having a simple little book? To me, it's all about the binding. Like, how do I want to, but how does it feel carrying it? Do I want to have this book that's going to get fluffy, and like the feeling of it being fluffy and full of things? These are things I ask myself. Disc bound is nice, but do I love the feel of the discs? Not as much. The binder does have pros and cons. Am I a fan of, that this is a finite, this is kind of more finite than almost everything else. I feel like binder rings are more free and loose. So everything has a pros and cons. So it's just a matter of asking yourself, like, do I want to make a small little cute junk journal? Let me show you. Well, maybe I can't show you. I don't know what I did with them. So I've made a junk journal that was a 4-inch by 4-inch. So it's like a very small square. That can be very satisfying, cute, little, small. They make little pocket pages for them. So it's just a matter of what are you going to enjoy? And you don't have to make it super elaborate either. It can just be super, super small. And it's just something to treasure. Like this, think about this little junk journal this way. This little junk journal is just representing a little season of your life that you went away to your make-believe camp. And these are the little fun things that you did at your make-believe camp. So you're just documenting yourself in the moment. And these were your fun thoughts that you had. These were the fun little things that you did for your summer. Some of us are not going away on vacation or doing anything extravagant like that. We're not going on road trips. We're not doing anything. So this is like going to camp is like your super fun thing. So this is like your reason to be like, try new creative things. Put some of like the supplies you're hoarding, put them in your junk journal. Anything that's special, this is maybe the junk journal you put that's special. This is for your little 12-year-old self that's going off to camp. Think about it. This is a little thing to put all your power of creativity into. It's something that to treasure for you. You're making it for you. Think about some of the stuff you've made for other people. This is the special thing for you. You're going to put all the love in it for you. So hopefully that inspires you a little more, just about how you want to do it. And you can put just as much love into a little notebook as you can. Binder rings or an album is, what is the most easiest to store. Sometimes albums are easy to store on a shelf. Those little binder ring junk journals, they're harder. I have to deal with them being in a bin, and they do get a little bit more wear and tear. So you have to just kind of think through all the pros and cons of if it really matters. And for a lot of people, this just might be the simplest route. If you're not as crafty, or you just know, hey, I don't have time this summer, but I want to have fun, and I want to do all the fun things. You can still do all the fun things with a simple notebook. So, right? So think about your 12-year-old self. What would your 12-year-old self wanted to do? What would she have been about? What would she have wanted? Would she have wanted that Trapper Keeper style junk journal? So give that some thought, Sherry. Is what would little 12-year-old Sherry, if she was going off to camp and she was going to make this thing, what would she have wanted to make? We should be all doing that for our little selves. Hi, Diana Clark. I'm happy to see your little face. It's been so long. 99.9% of my life is all about my family and my job. I junk journal just for me. I started years ago just for fun for me. I do and make tons for others, which I love to do. This is just something fun for me. Yay! That's wonderful, Diana. I'm glad you embrace it. And Shar, oh my gosh, all the little books, the little notebooks that you make with the honeys. Oh my Lanta. I don't know how you do it, girl, but your stuff is breathtaking. So, but we will discuss that further. Anyway, yes, some of the stuff that that we can make for camp. I want to be very flexible. I want everyone to make what they want. I don't want to set rules about like, this is the junk journal we're all making. I don't want to, we're not doing that camp. I want everyone to do what they want to do and have it just be like the easy breezy girls are just like, I'm using a notebook. And then if you want to be super elaborate and do all the bells and whistles, you do that too. I want everyone to be working in their comfort zone. Good night, my cousin. I'll talk to you later. Yes, and Char, I still have the little notebooks that you made for me too, because they're spectacular. Absolutely. I'm so happy they're here. I have been staying the course with doing Late Night Crafty Clubs and making sure that I'm popping up every other Friday because I want to continue to help people find this community. It's a wonderful community. People here have been here for years, and camp is kind of the heart of what I do. And doing this one summer camp every summer, except last year I didn't do one, but has been a really big, important part of what I do. So that is why I have been very faithful to do Late Night Crafty Clubs, because I want to keep making sure that people are seeing that hi, I'm here, I'm back. I am back in the saddle. So anyway, I think it's time. I think we're good. I think it's been wonderful. This has been a good night. Did we have a good night tonight? I think so. Hi, Cece. You are just rolling in, and as I'm about to say goodbye. I'm so sorry. And thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm so glad, Katya, you were actually very creative. When you came to the retreat and you were making stuff with you brought your friend with you, if I recall. Yeah, driving as far as you did to come craft. That's dedication. I love that. So, anyway, I love your little faces, girls, and I'm really glad that we got to hang out. It was really fun tonight, even though I didn't feel like I personally got super crafty, but sometimes I really, really, really enjoy just talking about the crafting thing and why is this here and why am I doing this? Sometimes it's fun to talk out loud what I'm doing. It really is. I like it. And it helps me too. It helps me process stuff. So I appreciate that you guys are a bunch of nerds, a bunch of craft nerds that will sit here with me on a Friday night and let me do it. So thank you. And thank you in advance, Jackie. And thank you so much for hanging out with me as long as you have. You guys are the best. You really are. My cup runneth over. And I believe I said June 13th is our next Late Night Crafty Club. So I shall see you then. If you get a chance, come to theresetgirl.com and check out my Craftivity journal for June and the activity pages. It is the most delicious edition that I've made yet. And I say that with all humility. Don't I sound humble? No, I say that with excitement because it really is. Sometimes I'm just really excited about what came out of my little fingers. You know what I mean? I can't help it. I don't mean to brag, but it's yummy. And I just want to say it's yummy. So anyway, I'm having a hard time saying goodbye, as sometimes I do, because I've loved it. So thank you guys so much, and saying goodbye to each other. And I love your little faces. Take care of yourself. I hope to see you very soon. And yes, we will see each other on replays if you can't be here live. I love my replay club. Sorry that you're not able to come live. I know it's not the same, but I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everybody.
Gather round, it's Friday night. Time for crafts and pure delight. Paper, scissors, let's get started. With vintage tape, we'll be wholehearted. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. Glue sticks ready, let's make a plan. Planners in the office, supplies in hand. Honey half-season, whimsy arrows, crafting magic like true heroes. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. Doodads and gumballs, let's create a scene. Join the club where we live our dreams. So grab your scissors and come along. Together we'll craft and sing our song. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. It's all for you. Slip into jammies, grab something to sip. Stickers and golden scissors, let's take a crafty trip. The playbook's open with listers got a list. In this crafty paradise our dreams coexist. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the Late Night Crafty Club, it's all for you. It's all for you. Cards and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the Late Night Crafty Show? Hearts and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the Late Night Crafty Show?